Hello Daily Drafters and welcome back to the channel for some early access streamer event Lost Caverns of Ixalan draft. That's right, this video is going to be highlights from my early access stream last Thursday. It was a 6+ hour stream. I don't expect you to go back and watch through that thing and figure out where the good parts were. So what I've done for you in this video is I believe we did 4 drafts in that video. We played out 4 games in each of the drafts. I'm going to show you each of the 4 drafts one by one, and I'm going to give you the best, most representative game of each of the decks that I drafted, so you can get an idea of how the cards work, the matchups that we played against, and you won't have to look at any of the bad games of the cards or the games where our deck didn't really do its thing, and you won't have to sift through a stream itself. I'm going to put it all for you in VOD format here. All 4 drafts in 4 games. It'll be a little bit of a bite-sized Sunday afternoon for you here. One quick note, unfortunately, as the stream exports and imports and re-exports and gets edited and all this kind of stuff, it does lose a little bit of its quality. So just so you know, for those of you that are new here, the audio quality and the video quality is usually a lot better than what you're going to see here today, but it's still good for you. I think it's still going to be good content for you all. You're going to see some fun games. You're going to see some fun chat moments. It should be a good time today. So without further ado, we're going to dive right into our first early access draft from last Thursday. All right, who are we drafting against? Giga Amazonian Wizard, the Demonic Tutor, Mr. Metronome himself of Lords of Limited fame, and King Gex and MTG Baron. Love to see it. So we got a creature land here. We're gonna have to go through this relatively quickly. Let's see, do we see an Abrade? I don't see an Abrade. So we might have to choose a common here. Kinjali's Dawnrunner, Explorers, Double Strike, Bloodthorn Flail. After I reserve a card, I'm gonna move chat here for you all so you can see my deck as well. Oltec Archaeologist, Marauding Brinefang. There's Rumbling Rockslide, which is a red card that I like. There's the Healy's Lattice, which I think is pretty good. But honestly, it might just be the creature land here. Everything here is not great. It's really not that good of a pack. There's a Cavern Stomper, which is probably going to be my... There we go, just move chat for you. That's probably going to be my Hamlet Glutton of the format. But we'll just stick with the creature land for now and go from there. What do we have now? Squirming Emergence. I don't think this is particularly great for black-green. Probably just going to pass it here. Dusk Rose Reliquary seems fine. C plus level, not anything outstanding. Jade Seedstones, a little bit slow. Scampering Surveyor, Caves? Caves, anyone? As I'm looking through everything else, I'm also not seeing anything that stands out here. There's a Broodrage Mycoid, which is fine. There's an Echo of Dust, which is meh. There's an Axejaw. There's a Plundering Pirate. Might just be the best card in this pack. I mean, maybe Reliquary? Yeah, Reliquary's probably better. I just don't think there's anything that's calling out to me to go in any specific kind of direction here. So I guess I'll just take the Reliquary. Alright, see, now we get a couple of options that aren't too bad. We've got Council of Echoes. If you've descended 4, you bounce a creature, a 6-mana 4/4 flyer. That'd be quite good in a black-red or black-blue control descend deck, which we already have Restless Reef for. There's also Chupacabra Echo, which isn't as good as Ravenous Chupacabra, but it's also still very good. 4-mana 3/2. Basically kills a creature when it comes in if you've built your deck right, but not all the time. Glorifier of Suffering is a good white card that could go well with Duskrose Reliquary. And everything else is probably less good than these two. I think it's between the Echoes and the Echo and the Chupacabra. I guess they're both Echoes, aren't they? Yeah, Tithing Blade's not bad. I'm not a huge fan of this card, though. I think it's fine. I probably wouldn't, like, cut it out of most decks, but it seems fine. Oh, this is one of the best cave build-arounds. 4 mana deals X damage to each creature in Planeswalker, where X is the number of caves you control. Plus caves in your graveyard. We could have forced it here, but I don't think I'm going to do that here today. There's a River Herald Scout, which is just generically good. There's another Council of Echoes, a Waylaying Pirates, and a Brood Rage Mycoid. The Waylaying Pirates is kind of a artifact build around. I think I'm going to take the Council of Echoes here. I almost took it last pack, although, gosh, when debating between, 2 mana cards and 6 mana cards, like, you probably just want to stick with the 2 mana cards, so I'm just going to go ahead and take the River Herald Scout in this scenario. It's just a 2 mana 2/3 kind of, or 2 mana 1/2 that draws a card, which both are great. Ooh, another creature land. This one becomes a 2/3 with Menace, and when it attacks, you can rummage. That's okay. There's a Brackish Blunder, another Scout. I think I'll take another Scout here. Don't see why not. There's another Echo as well. The Scout is helping our Descend count for the Echo already. I keep calling everything an Echo, but I just realized like everything has the name Echo in its name. Echo of Dusk, Chupacabra Echo, the 6 mana Echo of whatever. Let's take another River Herald Scout here. Alright, so we've got the counter spell out of air. Ooh, the rare cave build around. Do we take the rare cave build around and maybe jump, and then maybe wheel the other cave build arounds and jump into caves? Or do we just take, out of air and continue with the blue cards here? Everything else isn't pulling me in a specific direction. I think if we want an out of air, we're going to be able to get it. I'm going to take the rare cave build around. See if we can do anything with that. We've got a Sentry, which is just a very defensive card. And in decks like this, with blue-black being a control deck in this format, I do like running these 2 mana 3/3 defenders. I think they're pretty good. There's lots of red here, and the only one that I think is particularly great is Idol of the Deep King. And by great, I mean fine. There's also a cave. I'm going to take my first cave here. And, ooh, why do you have to put me up with this? Or put me with this this choice here between River Herald Scout number 3 and a second cave? Oh, I want either of these. I really, really wonder if those other cave build-arounds wheel. But I do really like River Herald Scout. No, you know what? I'm just going to take the Scout. I'm chickening out a little bit. Okay, there's a Brine Fang. This is totally fine to include in most blue decks. Just did well in our sealed pool. Fanatical Offering, Bloodthorn Flail. There's a Rock Slide that wheeled, notably. Now we've got Relic's Roar's Unplayable, Song of Stupefaction. Could be good in this kind of deck. And Unlucky Drop, not thrilled with it. So I think I'm going to take the Song over the Unlucky Drop. Ooh, we got a blue cave anyway. Hidden Cataract. I can't remember what pick the red cave build around was in, but I would really love to wheel that. Ooh, guys. Caves. Okay, so base blue caves? Gonna need some fixing, though. Okay, Brackish Blunder is fine. 2 mana, bounce a creature. And if that creature was tapped, you get a map. Better than Unlucky Drop, in my opinion. I think blue seems relatively open here. So I'm kind of looking at this build at the moment. They should have made these cyclers cave cyclers in this format. That would have been pretty good. Okay, see, I told you we can get an out of air if we wanted it. And a Sentry anyway. All right, so blue is wide open, so we're playing blue. Let's see if we've got a cave build around. There's a Didact Echo. Not really, but I'm not sure how good that card actually is. Ruin Lurker Bat seems good. There's another land, but there is a Captivating Cave here. I don't think we need to take this early if we do end up going caves. We could be base blue-red caves. I do like Rock Slide. There is a Tithing Blade as well. Maybe I just take the Tithing Blade, but I'm not thrilled with... Yeah, the Creature Land could help with fixing. That could help us kind of like do this whole multicolor nonsense thing. I'm not thrilled with most of these options here, to be honest. And I think we might wheel something decent out of that pack. So, I mean, I guess we take the Creature Land, and we're kind of moving in a direction where we need to find some of these cave payoffs. And we've already got 2. Is that right? 2 or 1? Kind of 2. No cave payoffs in this pack, nor is there a cave. But there is a Bitter Triumph. If we're just going to think about going back into blue-black, there's a Triumphant Chomp, which is also fine. Colossodactyl. I don't think we're going to be playing green. There's a Master's Guide Mural, and I don't think we're going to be playing white. So there's another Brackish Blunder. There's a Nurturing Bristleback. Bitter Triumph is probably the best card in the pack. Just 2 mana kill anything, even if you have to pay 3 life, is usually fine. And I think there's a better chance we play black than there is that we play red. Ooh, alright. Well, we've got a red cave. But there's also a Waterwind Scout in this pack, as well as an Inverted Iceberg, and even a Sentry. I don't really like Uchbenbach the Great Mistake. This card just seems a little bit too clunky for me. 5 mana 6/4 Vigilant Menace, and that's basically the only text it has on it, because Descend 8 is probably never happening. I mean, my take on this format is that Descend 8 is just never going to happen. Except maybe once a draft, if you're lucky. But I think Waterwind Scout is the best card in this pack. 3 mana 2/2 flyer, ETBs make a map token. I think it's the best blue common. And I'll take it here and probably wheel the Sentry. Okay, another cave here. But I think the cave thing has kind of passed. I don't think we're doing the whole cave thing. Now, I don't really like Abyssal Gorestalker. Puzzle Door is fine. Skull Taker is good in some decks. I wonder... No, we're probably not super aggressive for this, so... Could take the Spike Tail, but... I think I'll take the Skull Taker. Lots of green here. There is a Deadweight, though, which is exactly what we want. 1 mana, -2/2. Triggers Descend for the couple of cards we have that care about it. There is an Earthshaker Dreadmaw here, a C-Note Scout. Both of those are pretty good. Frilled Caveworm is unplayable. Brine Fang, we already have one. And another Chance. I think I would play one, maybe, depending on what our creature count ends up at. So let's take Deadweight. I think Confounding Riddle is also pretty good. 3 mana, counter target spell unless they pay 4. Or you can look at the top 4, get 1, and put the rest into your graveyard, which I think is good. There is a cave here, but I don't think that's great. So we're going to take the Confounding Riddle. And I think caves have kind of gone by, and we are more than likely just playing a straight blue-black deck here. Deep Goblin Skull Taker, Waylaying Pirates. How many artifacts do we have? Literal 0, but we do have a couple ways to make some. Guess we'll take a Skull Taker for that reason. Another cave. But I think I'll just take a Shipwreck Sentry. Again, if we're playing a more controlling deck, which I think we will be, I don't mind these 2-mana 3/3 defenders, even if they can't attack. I think they're just good enough blockers. Probably not playing this creature land either now. So, gonna need some, some flyers to potentially close out these games, some late game bomb cards. We only have a Brine Fang right now as basically a way to win, and that's about it. The Waterwind Scout could potentially get in there. Didact Echo. Maybe this is a Didact Echo deck. 5-mana 3/2, draw a card. And then it has flying if you've descended 4. Look, all these rock slides are wheeling. I don't think it's great removal, but I think it's fine removal. Master's Guide Mural. No, it's not a good splash for us. So Sage of Days. It could be okay. I could play an Ancestral Reminiscence here. I guess I can test out for all of you if this is going to be kind of viable in the format. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. Ooh, all right. Look at all this. Do have an Iceberg, though. I love Iceberg. Even though if we don't have a ton of artifacts, I think it's still good enough. I don't think Uchbenbach is even good, even in blue-black. I'm just not even going to take it. I'm going to take an Iceberg here. Could take a second Black Cave or an Erazga Puzzle Door. I think I'll take the first Puzzle Door. Cave Depth seems difficult to put together. Need to spend picks on caves and cave payoffs, while also getting a playable deck. Yes, but the cave payoffs are only at uncommon and rare. So basically, you take a cave payoff when you see it, and if you don't see it, you take a cave. And you usually got to get the good payoffs within the first few picks to really go in, because you don't know if you're going to see it. But I do agree, it's difficult to get into. Alright, I think we got to take Join the Dead here. It's basically just murder. There is a Lodestone Needle, though, and I think blue is wide open at this table. And I think this wheels. 2 mana, flash, ETBs, tap an artifact or creature, put 2 stun counters on it. And then when you flip this and eventually craft, you get to explore every single turn. There's also the Myco Tyrant. But I don't think I'm gonna splash that. You have to, it descends and then makes 1/1s and stuff. It's possible it's better than Join the Dead, but I'm just going to go ahead and take that one here. Ooh, there are a lot of great options here. So for those of you that saw our sealed run a little bit ago, we played Hurl into History, and it was actually quite good. But there's also Zoetic Glyph, which I think is good in artifact decks. We're not super artifact heavy. There's a Skullcap Snail, which is perfect in a controlling deck like ours. There's an Inverted Iceberg, which you know I love. There's a Cogwork Wrestler, which I think is also completely playable. And just artifact craft fodder for our Iceberg, and I thought we had one more card we could craft. Maybe not. You know what? I think I'm just going to take the Snail here, and I think we wheel at least one of these blue cards. Because again, I think blue is wide open at this table, sorry. Speaking of, how about a 2-mana 2/1 Flash Flyer? The Wrestler looks like Hullbreaker Jr. The Cogwork Wrestler? Like Hullbreaker Horror? Those are 2 completely different cards. The Wrestler reminds me of Deceive the Messenger from Lord of the Rings. -2/-0, you get a 1/2. And then Deceive the Messenger was minus... Wait, a Braid is still here? Wait, did I miss a Braid in the last pack? Oh, I missed it in that pack. I hadn't seen a Braid yet. Oh. It might be splashable, but I don't think it's worth ruining our mana when we have a good amount of removal already. Um, see, we got another one here. Oh, Hullbreaker Jr., I see the art. Yeah, now I see it. I can kind of see that now. I would not mind picking up a Cogwork Wrestler, but not at the expense of taking a deadweight. So I'll take that here. We've got a nice little low to the ground. I mean, look at all these cards. I mean, blue-black is wide open. I don't like Self-Reflection unless you can guaranteed get it into your graveyard, which I don't think this deck is going to do particularly well. I mean, maybe with like 3 scouts, but it's really bad if it comes into your hand. Now we may have 4 scouts. What about a Screaming Phantom? What's our curve looking like? 2s are totally fine. I think I'm going to take my first Screaming Phantom over my 4th scout here. I'll take a Mycoid, but this isn't a card I particularly like. Ooh, what's this one? 1 mana, mill a card, turns into a 4/4 Vigi, crew 1, craft with island? No, no thanks. Hurl into History, Oaken Siren. We only have 2 artifacts. It's probably not an Oaken Siren deck. We already have an Out of Air. I guess I'll take the Hurl. I don't know if I'll play it, though. I'm not playing anything here. Ooh, Compass Gnome, actually. I do like me a Compass Gnome. So for those of you that watch the channel, ooh, Waterwind Scout pick 9. It wheeled, guys. For those of you that were watching the channel during Phyrexia, all will be 1 season. I think Compass Gnome is going to be as good as Dune Mover. And you know how much I liked Dune Mover if you watched the channel then. Let's take the Waterwind Scout. Randy, map tokens basically are just 1 mana, or you get them for free. See, look at all this blue that wheeled. I guess I can take a second Iceberg here. Where is it? There it is. You just pay 1, tap it, sacrifice it, and target creature you control explores. As a sorcery. That's all it does. But it's good. I mean, it's just a good thing to have. So... oh my gosh. Blue is untouched at this draft table. Ooh, we got the Wrestler back anyway. I think I'll play it. Look at this. Like, what do I'm going to be presented with so many cuts here. Alright, let's see how we're going to make these cuts. 50 cards. So I'll put the cards over here. You know, I probably could go mono blue. I think that makes the deck worse, though. This is a lot more aggressive. I don't think I need those. I think the Phantom's probably synergistic enough to keep. I don't know about the Reminiscence. I don't know about the Hurl into History. I don't know about 2 Out of Airs. I would like to try a Didact Echo if possible. We have so many 2-drops. Probably don't need the Compass Gnome. I don't know if I even need the Phantom. I think we ended up with enough removal to not need to play Song. It is, but It is a fun blowout card, but don't know if it's something I'm willing to put into the deck here. Still have 3 cuts? Maybe? Let's cut an out of air. I'll try to keep the Hurl in here. The icebergs can craft with the maps, notably. Can also craft with Puzzle Door from the graveyard, Wrestler on the battlefield. I think 17 lands is good here. Guess I can cut 1 out of air and then maybe a Shipwreck Sentry because we have enough 2-drops anyway, and then run it like this. I don't think the deck is super great, but I mean, it definitely has some good draws and some good controlling draws. I mean, I'm wondering how to win. I guess Waterwind Scout can win and Double Iceberg can win. So does Malcolm. Yeah, Hurl is good. And the only time you're going to hold it up is when you really have nothing else to do. Because if you pass with 5 mana up and like 4 cards in hand, they're going to know you have this card. This is going to be like one of the defining cards of the format. We have the Creature Land and 2 caves here. And I think I'll try it like this. It's fine to me. We've got a Island Cycler. We've got an early defensive creature if we need it. We've got Hurl into History. Alright, do I Island Cycle or do I just play Sentry? I don't think I'm pressed to play Sentry here, but I'm also not pressed to Island Cycle at the moment, so I think I'm actually just going to play the Sentry. And then I can Island Cycle it next turn if they don't play a creature or not. I think Hurl into History is one of those cards that's going to be really good early in the format, and after a few weeks, people are going to know you have it, and then they're just not going to play into it. So, and I'll hold up Wrestler and join the dead, I guess. And Brine Fang. I'll join the dead. If they go for map token on Scout, I think I'm just going to kill it. If they don't, I'll wait till post-combat here. And then either cycle. I do believe it does fizzle if you kill it in response. Not 100% sure on that, but I'm pretty sure that is the case. I guess I just hold up Wrestler. I'm not gonna do the map right now. I think they're gonna kill Scout anyway. Okay. Ooh, Deep Fathom Echo. That's a card. That's a card I'm gonna have to kill with Join the Dead, or counter with Hurl into History next turn. That would be quite quite the blowout if I'm able to counter Deep Fathom Echo next turn. All my cards are instant right now. Yeah, see, they did kill it. Choose a creature you control, and if the creature, then those creatures fight each other. It gives -2/-0. Oh, that's really annoying. Yeah, this is gonna be tough now with a 6/6 flyer, or like a 4/4 and a 2/2 flyer, and I kind of have to kill the Deep Fathom Echo. Ugh. course they got it up to 4. They know I have the Wrestler here. Or they should know I have the Wrestler. They might not. It's day 1 of the format. Some people might know the format better than others, but let's see if they attack with the Sunlight. Yeah, they know I've got Wrestler, so I'm just going to do this to prevent some damage. Hermetic Nautilus. Well, unfortunately, I have to forecast that I have Hurl into History here because I can't let Deep Fathom Echo resolve. But they did play right into it, so at least there's that. What do we get? A River Herald Scout. Could be worse. Alright, Iceberg. As good as you are, I do not know if we have time for you. Well, no, actually, I mean, next turn I'm going to join the dead, they're 4/4, and then deadweight, they're 2/2. And I can cast Iceberg still, right? Because I have 6 mana? Yeah, so that's actually not bad. Okay, so we're going to start by deadweighting their 2/2. We're going to join the dead, they're 4/4. And we're going to play Iceberg here. Mill a card, draw a pretty good card, and now we're not in too bad of a spot. They did draw a Discover Land. We also have one, so let's play this. So this can become a 4/1. I think I'll put it here. Draw the land. Play the land. Do we have Artifact in the graveyard? Yeah, so we can craft with the Iceberg using the puzzle door here, so we don't need the map. Let's try on Scout again. Sure, I'll take a Malcolm, why not? And no attacks. Alright, we've kind of turned the corner a little bit. Yeah, the Hurl into History. We've had it in every deck we played so far today, and it has been very good, to say the least. Alright, bud. Let's craft with Artifact. Get this 6/6 on the battlefield, because I love me a good old inverted Iceberg. What does that do? Oh no! Really? The rare is going to counter our craft ability. Well, that was kind of cool for them. Okay, sure, sure. Another interaction I'm not sure you're ever going to see in this format. Although now you know what Tidebinder can do. It counters craft. So... I think I'll do it this way. Chart a course, draw 2. Yeah, that's good. Didact Echo, crap. Alright, well, that was quite the turn of a... quite the turn for them. Would love to be able to kill the Echo. Take another River Herald Scout, I suppose. Well, that's pretty good for us. I guess we're trading? Can we race? I think we can afford to try to race here. Because we have another flyer coming now. It's been a nice, close, swingy game here. Malcolm draws on hit. So whenever he deals combat damage, you get a loot. And then if you hit them 4 times, they're dead, and the second ability doesn't matter. Ooh, that's a potential unblockable. They probably should have saved the Herald so that this could be unblockable next turn, but I'm not the boss of you. See what we can draw here. Another scout. Okay. Your wife just laughed at you because you didn't realize what countering craft would mean for the cards. Hold on. Wait, so you reacted to the craft situation that went on earlier, and she was like, "Excuse me, what?" Or does she have a working knowledge of Magic? Oh no. Hey, that could be lethal soon here. That's lethal next turn is what it is. What's the last card in hand? Because... Oh, okay, so she knows more than you do. Well, maybe not necessarily, but she's had some success. Oh, Council of Echoes? Well, that's basically GG. Come on. This has been a really good game. Win or lose, it's been very good, gotta say. So... yeah, I can discard a card to that. If they have any way to... Oh, if this can explore, this gets unblockable. Darn. Yeah, there was some really good top decks from, not necessarily top decks, but just like swingy plays in that game that were really fun. That was a fun game, win or lose. All right, first have to see who we're drafting against. Cream Flash, who was the person we just played against. Mina Kex, Sush Fox 2-2, MTG Baron, Abtentur Brettspiele. Is that a German? Chosen One MVP. All right, Abuelo. 3-mana, 2-2, Flying Ward 2, exile another creature. You can blink something for 3 mana. It's pretty fun. Rampaging Ceratops. There's also a Market Gnome. I do really like Market Gnome, but I don't think it's worth taking this early. Ruben Larkerbat is quite good. You know I love me an Inverted Iceberg. There's a Petrify, which is just fine enough removal. Another not great pack, if we're being honest. I mean, I could take the Abuelo, but I don't like taking gold cards this early, obviously. So I think I'm just going to take the removal spell. I think the Ceratops is okay. I don't think it's outstanding. So I'm just going to take the Petrify here and go from there. All right, there's a Millennium Calendar. I don't think we're going to meme with the Millennium Calendar here today. There is a Mischievous Pup, which could go well with Petrify. There is a Triumphant Chomp, which I think is the best card in the pack, probably. There's a Huatli's Final Strike. I do think this is a really good green removal spell. But I think Chomp is just the best card in the pack. It's close between this and Mischievous Pup and Huatli's Final Strike. Those are all pretty close to me. I guess Mischievous Pup would go well with our first pick only because it's another white card. I think dinos are going to be overdrafted really early in the format just because everyone wants to draft dinos. You know what? I'm going to take the pup. It goes well with our first pick. We stay white. It's fine. Canonized in Blood. I don't think that's very good. Battle Glyph. Choose target creature you control and another creature you don't control. If your creature enters the battlefield this turn, you get a counter on, then they fight. That's pretty good. There's a Tithing Blade. There's a Family Reunion. Seeker of Sunlight. Basking Capybara. Didact Echo. Something I'm finding already about this format, the cards are kind of bad. Like, I'm not excited to take any of these cards. They just kind of suck. So I think I'm just going to take the Battle Glyph here and go from there. There's a Bitter Triumph, which is great. There's a Dismantler, which I think is fine in more controlling decks. There's a Miner's Guidewing, which is good. There's a Nurturing Bristleback, which is fine in some green decks. There's a Compass Gnome, which is a card I like. There's a Cave. There's a Stone Tree. I mean, I could take the Bitter Triumph, but could also just take the Guidewing to stay white here. I think this is close. I do like Guidewing. I think Bitter Triumph is a better... No, I gotta take the Triumph. Triumph is just the best card in the pack, so I gotta take that. Ooh, look at this. Why does no one want Unstable Glyph Bridge? Now you know, when Unstable Glyph Bridge enters the battlefield, if you cast it, it's a board wipe. This card is good, right? Why did 4 people pass it? I mean, it's a board wipe that keeps a couple of basically irrelevant creatures on the battlefield and eventually turns into a really, really annoying flying creature. So I'm just gonna take it here. Turkey, they're probably dinos? Yeah, everyone's probably dinos. We haven't played dinos yet today. But we also haven't seen some of the rare and uncommon dinos, which are incredible, but we haven't seen them. Miner's Guidewing, Deathcap Marionette, Spike Tail. I do like me a Siren, but I'm going to take the Miner's Guidewing here. I think we know we're pretty much white, not locked in, but more than likely to be white. And I think the Guidewing is good in a white deck. Ooh, an Old-Tech Cloud Guard. I do like this card. 4 mana 3/2 flyer, make a 1/1. There's a Gem Guard, which actually overperformed in our sealed pool. Attentive Sunscribe, fine. Everything else, meh. What would you want to pair white with? Let's see, white-blue, artifact control, white-green is like kind of a aggro power matters kind of thing. White-black is sacrifice. And white-red is tapping your own things, like with a Gem Guard. I probably would want to pair it with blue or black most if I had to guess. But we could also just be mono-white, based on how open it's seeming at this exact moment. Because we've got the Triumph and we've got the Battle Glyph. I mean, if we get like a Kutzil, which is like the green, white, gold uncommon, could be pretty good. I'm not sure the whole sacrifice theme is going to be great. Here you go. This is a reason to get in a blue-white. Market Gnome, 1 mana 0/3. When it dies, you gain a life and draw a card. And when it's exiled from the battlefield, while you're activating a craft ability, you gain a life and draw a card. And it wheeled. And then there's a couple of other blue artifact cards here. So I think this is kind of our signal. I could just take the white cave land too, but I think this is kind of a signal that blue-white artifacts might be open, and I'm interested to see if blue-white draft deck is going to be any better than a blue-white sealed deck, because our sealed deck didn't work out very well. We do have the Swamp Cycler here. I don't like Thousand Moons Crackshot like at all. I could take the Brine Fang too as well if we think we're going to go blue-white here. I think our most likely path is blue-white at this point. So let's take the Brine Fang. And maybe we open like some red bomb or something in pack 2 and we could still take that. There's a Sage of Days, a Didact Echo. I don't think I would want to play any of these. Pirate Hat. Gotta give your pirate a little hat. Relic Roar is basically unplayable. Wanderglyph, also not great. I'll just cut the blue artifact here. That is a relatively late Tithing Blade. I think I'll take it over a Spike Tail. Blue doesn't look as open as I might have originally thought it was, but white is still open. Another Pirate Hat. Okay. Deeproot Pilgrimage. Whenever one or more non-token merfolk become tapped, make a 1/1 blue merfolk with hexproof. No, not for us. There is another Market Gnome, though. We don't have any craft yet, but in blue-white, you're going to find some craft. There's an Oltec Cloud Guard, but I don't know how many of those you want, with it being 4 mana. There's a Sandwing, which I would play. There's a Cosmium Blast, which I would probably play, and a Waterlogged Hulk, which I don't think I would play. So I guess I'm just going to take the Market Gnome and look to kind of turtle up here. And oh, here you go. Here's some craft. The Unstable Glyph Bridge. So we do have one. We can look for Icebergs, which craft at common. We can look for the blue-white Signpost uncommon, which is a pretty good craft payoff. I think there's some options here. We're also not locked into blue-white. I mean, let's see. There's an Earthshaker Dreadmaw, 6 mana, 6/6 trample. Puts Colossal Dreadmaw to shame, unfortunately. Our baby has been rendered useless. Draws a card for each other dinosaur you control in ETB. Probably not for us. We're not going to take Nicancel. There's a Cosmium Blast. There's an Oteclan Landmark. Turns into a 1/4 flyer when it attacks. Gives something else flying. Brackish Blunder, Compass Gnome, Suffering, Cosmium Blast. I think I'll take the Landmark. It's another good craft card. Goes well with our double Market Gnomes. I think the more craft cards we have, these gnomes are going to get better. Another Pilgrimage. Not for anyone, really. There's an Archaeologist, a Sunscribe, a Wrestler, a Whirlpool, but there's an Iceberg. And we're going to play our third deck of the day with at least one Iceberg in it. 2 mana, ETB's mill a card, draw a card. 6 mana turns it into a 6/6 that whenever it attacks you can tap or untap creature or artifact. It is quite good. There's also a Cave Land, but we want some craft here. Ooh, speaking of craft. 2 mana, when you ETB, search your library for a basic plains, put it in your hand, shuffle, and gain 2. And then it eventually turns into an Glorious Anthem that gives you 2/2s. Very good. Very good reason to be doing this kind of deck. There's also a Hurl into History here. If it wheels, I'll play it. But I'm going to take the Artifact Craft card, and I think we're going blue-white Craft here. Which seems like a really fun deck. Especially in Draft compared to Sealed, because in Sealed, we just kind of had to put what we had. But in Draft, you get to take the cards that work with each other. And look at this. 3 Market Gnomes. We're just going to be drawing all the cards and getting all of the value here. Waylaying Pirates on the wheel would be pretty good, because we do have 7 artifacts now. But let's take another Market Gnome. And now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 crafting cards with 3 Market Gnomes. So, yeah. Alright, there's a Cosmium Blast, a Brackish Blunder, Ancestral Reminiscence, and Quicksand. I think I'll take the Cosmium Blast. Again, we can continue to stay white and stay kind of open. I think Blunder and Blast are pretty close to each other. The Blunder could make a map, which could help us craft as well, but I think I'm just going to take the Blast here. Ironpaw Aspirant, Thousand Moons Infantry. Guess I'll take the Aspirant, but it doesn't really go super well in our deck. So I'm probably going to throw it in the board for now. Okay, there's a Puzzle Door. Quicksand Whirlpool can also be fine as a one-of. Oltec Archaeologist could be good in this deck. It could get back a board wipe. No, I'm going to take the Whirlpool. I think having a decent little bit of interaction is going to be relatively important. Now I'll take the Plane Cycler in Soaring Sandwing. Pass up on the Merfolk build-around. Got another Cosmium Blast anyway. Hey there, Itchapede. Yes, happy drafting indeed. Today is the best day of the year. It's early access day. Well, one of 4 or 5 best days of the year. Because I love early access. Yeah, David, I mean, we could very well be mono white. We're not kind of locked into this Brine Fang, and the Iceberg is good, but we don't technically need it. Actually, you know what? I will take my first Archaeologist here, because I think it's good with the Glyph Bridge. It's good enough that I think it's worth taking. Hunter's Blowgun. Probably don't need that. +1/+1, Death Touch, or Reach. Destruction Hammer. I'll take the Reminiscence. I might end up playing it if I'm blue-white. Alright, Terror Tide. Board wipe in black that we are not. There is a Ruin Lurker Bat, which is good. There's an Oaken Siren, which I would love to wheel. There's a Self-Reflection, which could be okay, but there's also a Master's Guide Mural, and I think I should take it. 5 mana 4/4 artifact, and eventually you pay 7, and then when you flip it, you get another 4/4, and every turn an artifact ETB is under your control, you get another 4/4. Pretty good. Although I would love to wheel an Oaken Siren here. But let's take the Master's Guide Mural, and now I think we're... Ooh, a blue rare. What does this do? 3 mana 1/5 at the beginning of each player's end step. If an artifact entered the battlefield under your control, look at the top two, one in the hand, one in the graveyard. Absolutely. That is what we are looking for. I'm going to go ahead and take Akal Pakal. Hopefully wheel Puzzle Door or Compass Gnome here. That's what I'm looking at. And we're kind of doing it. We're kind of having a version of the sealed deck that we had. But what I think will be better because it's draft. Wow. I love all of this. As good as Malcolm is, we've got Duskrose Reliquary, Petrify, and Oaken's Siren. It's still gotta be Malcolm, right? I mean, as good as all the options are, I do like them all. Maybe we wheel this Oaken Siren. I don't think we wheel Reliquary or Petrify, but I'm gonna take Malcolm here. And now we get a Petrify. We also could get a Cogwork Wrestler. Another artifact. We only have 8, notably. That's not as many as I thought we had. But removal is important too. Maybe the Wrestler wheels. But I'll take a Petrify here. We don't need a second Reminiscence. This isn't really synergistic in our deck. But Cosmian Blast is the kind of thing I think this deck wants. We've got 2 already, and I mean, we're just kind of buying time until we put down Akopokal and Master's Guide Mural and Glyph Bridge to wipe the board, and Archaeologist to get a board wipe back, and Market Gnomes to draw more cards. I mean, we're just going to try to remove the board. I don't like combat tricks. I mean, I'll let my opponents beat me with them. They're usually fine. It's just, how many creatures do we have? 12? It could be okay. I never find room for them in my deck. Craft with 1 or more cards? Permanents. Craft with 1 or more 5 generic manas. Excuse me, what? Petrify. Let's do that. What's this one do? Dig Side Conservator. 2 mana, 2/2. Sacrifice it. You can pay 4 to discover 4. Messes with some graveyards. Probably pretty good in best of 3. There's also Waylaying Pirates here. And I think that's also kind of what we want to have in this deck. Alright, Puzzle Door, Cogwork Wrestler. Puzzle Door can put things in the graveyard for a lot of the craft that we have. Although, if this one is here, there was one in pick 9, which we could take. So actually, I'm going to take the Wrestler here, because I think we're going to get a Puzzle Door right now. And of course we didn't. But there's a Miner's Guide Wing. Guess I'll take that. Ah, here's the Puzzle Door. We found it. So we're kind of doing it here. I'm going to have to make some cuts, but I think we have some options that we can cut. Oh, they both came back. I think this deck needs Oaken Siren really badly. As good as Duskrose Reliquary is, which I'm not even convinced it's super great. We already have 3 Petrifies. So let's just take the Oaken Siren. Got a Wrestler. Okay, so we're going to have to make some good cuts here. There we go. I'll take the combat trick anyway, and it's probably going to end up being cut. But I'll take it for you, Turkey Jerky. I would be remiss to not mention the fact that if you do like the channel and you're enjoying the content here, we do have a Patreon with a link in the description. You can go ahead and check that out for yourself as well. I've got tier lists, I've got early access to content, I've got Discord server, I've got participation in my end of format tournaments, all sorts of stuff as well. So go ahead and check that out. The most expensive option is $5 US dollars a month, which is basically nothing. That is like the cheapest option of most other people's Patreons. So, but if you do enjoy the content, check that out over there. All right, we got some cuts to make. We have so much removal in the 2-drop slot that I'm wondering if Quicksand Whirlpool is needed. We could probably play 16 lands with 2 cyclers here. I don't mind all of this stuff. The Guide Wings kind of stand out as not really fitting. So I think I'll cut those. I might not need 3 of each of these. I would like to keep all the gnomes and all of the craft cards, of which there are 4 in our deck. We've got Glyphbridge, Iceberg, Landmark, and Clayfire Bricks, and Guide Mural. So I do want to keep all the gnomes. Cloud Guards are a 4-mana 3/2 flyer that makes a 1/1 artifact. I think they're just a generically powerful card. I don't really like these. Are these free to include? Like, do I have to include this? Do we end up with any of those 2-mana 2/1? No. Yeah, a little bit of built-in top end. We don't have a ton of top end. I think 16 lands with both of them is probably okay. Maybe I can cut like 1 Cosmian Blast, 1 Wrestler, and then... What does the Mischievous Pup do? Works well with Landmark, it works well with Wrestler, it works well with... kind of well with Cloud Guard. Works well with Master's Guide Mural. Puzzle, not really Puzzle Door. Clayfired Bricks, it's pretty good with. It does some things. I think it's worth keeping. I think the Archaeologist is worth keeping as well because we do have 11 artifacts, and if the Glyph Bridge or the Guide Mural get blown up, we can get it back here. Do I need 3 Petrifies? Yeah, you almost beat me to it, Turkey Jerky. 3 Petrifies. Probably can cut 1 of them. I think we're going to be blocking, or we're going to be on the defensive more. So a Cosmian Blast is... No, maybe what if I do 1 Cosmian Blast and 3 Petrifies? I think Petrify's better than Blast. Nope, that was the wrong one. And then that would be the deck there. Seems pretty good to me. I mean, this is about one of the better versions of blue-white that you'll find. If I had to guess, based off of what the signpost is trying to do. They can craft and sack their petrified cards. Yes, if they're... yeah. You think locking... Yeah, because of Descend as well, it also locks something away from going into the graveyard to up their Descend count. So we're going to see if this deck... Alright, we are first with Clayfired Bricks on 2, Mischievous Pup on 3, returning it, replaying it, gaining 4 total life and getting 2 lands into hand, and then have a Glyph Bridge to wipe the board at some point. So I think I'm just going to keep it off of the back of that interaction alone. And we've got an island anyway. So now, I wonder if I just play Akal Pakal. Kevin, what colors do you think are the strongest in draft and sealed? I have not a single clue in the world. I played a good bit of blue so far. I played 3 decks. I played blue-black, blue-white, and blue-white. And I don't know what's best. I think if you get a good Dinos deck in red-green, I think it's going to be really good. Like, it's really hard for it to not be good. But I mean, black seems relatively strong. I just don't know how synergistic black is. I think it's just like generically strong. If you have a really good descend deck like green black or black, I don't know, black, maybe black white descend potentially. Those seem pretty strong so far. I don't think blue green is going to be good. Oh, that's annoying. I do have a petrify though. And I think I have to use petrify on that because I have so many artifacts. So let's do this. Let's do Market Gnome and Puzzle Door. We're going to get to draw off of Ukal Pakal here. One into my hand, other into the graveyard. I think I'll keep the card here. Put the land in the yard. Poison Dart Frog, Inverted Iceberg. Let's do this. If we draw land, we can pop back the iceberg. Did not draw land. But I can do this here. Hey there, Michael? Is that how you pronounce your name? There's some symbol. I think there's a symbol on the L that I don't recognize as well. But hey, good to have you. How are you doing? This could get Death Touch, but they don't have the mana to pay, so I will attack. Yeah, I'll take the Guide Mural. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they thought it had Death Touch as well. Just, it has Reach, not Death Touch, just Reach. In Polish, it's pronounced Michał, but Michael is fine. Michał. I'll call you Michał, that's fine. Man, I like all of this. I think Petrify has to be what we get, though. Man, we just have so many options here. Gosh. I've noticed with these blue-white decks that we played, like, it's kind of information overload. Like, I don't know what to do in all of these spots. I'm not going to petrify because I can Glyph Bridge away everything and keep my Pakal here. So I'm wondering if I should pup back the iceberg right now and then replay it and then get another draw here. I could also just kill their entire board, get rid of my gnome. This would eventually craft. I don't know. If I don't do this now, I'm not doing anything. No, let's just... No, you know what? I will do this. I think I will get the... I Actually, I think I would rather the bricks back in hand. Get a land here. Make sure I hit my land drops. Then I get to draw even more. Gosh, this deck is wild. It's doing, I mean, I still have 6 cards in hand. Look at my board. And my yard. Okay, they did abrade away clay-fired bricks. I know, right? We just need win con. Like, we just... What else are we doing? Well, let's do this. Need to draw land, or we have to discard here. Dang it. Oh, now we have to discard. Oh my gosh. So much value. And they had a second to braid to kill our 6/6. That's kind of annoying. We only have 11 cards left in our deck. And we have to discard 2 cards now. Oh my gosh. What am I supposed to do? This is wild. Whew, 11 cards left in deck. We're at 25. I don't know how we win. All right, where are the lands? Let's start by doing this, I think. I think I'm just going to board wipe now and then probably play Malcolm. I could attack first. Yeah, I guess. Because my pup is dying. But if they called it, then it doesn't really matter. Okay. We're going to mill 2 more cards here. Not mill, but like... Do they have another Abrade? I think they have yet a third Abrade here. A third Abrade. Well, I mean, you get 3 copies of the best card in the set, or the best common in the set. Good for you, I guess. Goodness gracious. I mean, I've had to discard like every turn. This deck has been insane so far. So they've got a land in hand. Stop playing. I can't. Everything in my hand is an artifact. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the only one that's not an artifact. So I do Petrify. I do Siren. I do Pirates. Put a stun on that. Get in, and now I might... Oh no, this also discards... Oh my gosh, guys, I might lose. Uh-oh. I think we have to win next turn. Right? So if I play Cloud Guard... I draw 2. next turn. I have to win next turn if I play double Cloud Guard here. Every card in my hand is an artifact, so I'm gonna... I can't attack with Malcolm. This has reach anyway. So what's the most damage I can put on the board here? I guess I can play Guide Mural and Cloud Guard. Now I have to win next turn no matter what. Do I have a way to put anything back on the top of my deck? I doubt it. What's the last card here? Is it a land? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It's not a land. 1, 2... It's a Petrify. Our last card is a Petrify. Flipped Landmark. Where's Landmark? It's not a Petrify. Oh, there's the Petrify. Do I have any way... I don't think I have any way to do anything here. I have to do this and then draw a card. Woof, man. Well, you know what? These are the most fun ways to lose because who doesn't want to lose with no cards in deck and having drawn like 30 extra cards this game, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Either way, it was fun. Yeah, I probably should have played Cloud Guard a little bit earlier, but that's a way you want to lose a game. Right? The deck's just too strong. That's exactly how it's working out. Human Token, Roberto, NCAA, Ketsa, Ben S. There you go, Ben S. MTG. Ben Stark, one of the Hall of Famers. Yo, Skylar, El Gran, and Human Token are Wizards of the Coast employees, so we do get to play against WotC here. Well, draft against WotC. Now, unfortunately for us, there's a great dino build around. 5 mana, 5/3, other dinos you control have haste. When it enters the battlefield, you get 2 eggs, and at the beginning of combat, if you control one or more eggs, it becomes a 3/3. We're going to take it, but the reason I say unfortunately is because Belligerent Yearling and Dreadmaw's Ire, well, less Dreadmaw's Ire, but Belligerent Yearling is going to put someone into red-green as well. But it's also just a good card in any red deck. But let's see if we can force our way into dinos a little bit, because Polanyi's Hatcher is one of the better rares in the set, especially in dinos. What do we have here? Stinging Cave Crawler, Guardian of the Great Door. Both of those are good. There's an Axejaw. The Frog. It was good against us. I don't know if it's going to be good for us. There's an Oaken Siren. I mean, I could just take the Axejaw. Hatchers gives it haste. It's not near as good as like Guardian or even Cave Crawler, but it's arguably on par with the rest of these commons. Let's just take the Axejaw here. All right, we've got another Axejaw. Here's a Deep Cavern Bat, though. I love Deep Cavern Bat. This card has been really good against me, and I think it's just a really good card here. There's another Axejaw. Red is already starting to get cut. I think I have to take Deep Cavern Bat. I think this card is enough better than Axejaw that I'm willing to just take it here. So let's take Deep Cavern Bat. And look, Dinos is already getting cut. There's a spider, but like whatever. There's a Hotfoot Gnome, but whatever. There is a Skullcap Snail, though. That's a card I do like. 2 mana, 1/1. ETBs, they exile a card from their hand. I mean, if we're just going to get cut right off of Polani's Hatcher, then, you know, we get cut off of it, and maybe we can splash it in like black-green or something. But, you know, with Dinos, that's what everyone wants to draft. Alright, there's another Guardian here. There's a Tomb Raider. Black is kind of starting to get cut a little bit. Green is already pretty cut as well. There's a lot of blue and white. I'm just not going to draft blue and white again because I've played blue-white twice out of the 3 drafts and sealed we've done today. So I'm not going to play blue-white here right now for that reason. There is Acolyte of Azakhlazotz. There's another chance, which I think is pretty good with both bat and snail. Maybe it's worth taking here. If everyone wants to draft dinos, will anyone get a decent dino deck in draft? Well, that's the whole self-correcting nature of draft. If it's overdrafted, the people who draft it end up with worse dino decks. But if everyone tries to stay out of it because it's overdrafted, and you end up in a pod where you can get the deck when no one's trying to draft it, then it works out pretty well for you. So it's just kind of a tough spot to be in. Well, best card in this pack is probably Oltec Cloud Guard, I think. I mean, Helping Hand is okay. Might of the Ancestors is meh. Family Reunion. I don't want 2 and other chances. I guess I'll take the Cloud Guard. I mean, we're so pushed off of this already. See, now there's a Petrify. Like, oh, but look, there's Deadweight and Snail. Okay, well, I guess I'll go back to Deadweight. Didn't see those 2. I thought those were done. So let's take Deadweight, still hedge, play toward black, figure out where to go from there. Ooh, I love Mephitic Draft. This is a great card. 1 or 2 mana, ETBs, or is put into the graveyard from the battlefield. You draw a card and lose a life. It's kind of like Ichor Wellspring from Brothers War, for those of you that remember that. There is also a Careening Minecart, which I think is a pretty good card. There's Archaeologist and well, there's a Glorifier, which is also a decent card here. I think our Polani's Hatcher Dream has sailed, unfortunately. So if we end up with this and ways to sacrifice it, I think that's going to be pretty good in a base black deck. Ooh, Stinging Cave Crawler came back. So did Compass Gnome, Tinker's Tote, Landmark, Capybara, but let's just take the good black card here. 3 mana, 1/3 Death Touch. When it attacks, if there are 4 more permanent cards in your graveyard, you draw a card and lose a life. And we're just kind of feeling out what the second color that we're going to end up in is, because right now we're just black, which is totally fine. Ooh, another Stinging Cave Crawler. I mean, I think it's just a fine enough card. It's not like great, but yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know how much I want three of them, but what's this even do? No, no. I guess I'll just take the Cave Crawler. Fungal Fortitude, Landmark, Song. I mean, just cut black still. Yeah, I guess I'll take an Acolyte. Yeah, see what pack 2 pick 1 brings? Yeah, if you just keep taking cards of one color, you can just kind of stay open in pack 2. That will also work. We got one more pick left. Can we get a Black Cave? Is that too much to ask? I didn't keep track of what was going around earlier. Family Reunion, fine. And Basic Land. No, that's a cave. Almost. Half of what I asked for. Alright, Warden of the Inner Sky. 1 mana, 1/2. As long as it has 3 or more counters on it, it has Flying and Vigilance, and you tapped 3 untapped artifacts and or creatures you controlled to put a counter on it and scry 1 only as a sorcery. I don't know how good that is. It's good, just maybe not great. The question is, what are we like taking against it? There's a Gem Guard, which probably not for this deck. There's a Visage of Dread, which, you know, worked out pretty well against us last time. There's also a Skullcap Snail, which I think is good. I don't really like Abyssal Gorestalker that much. I mean, I think this is still probably better than both of these cards that I'm willing to take it here. Yeah, I'll go ahead and take the Warden. Alright, Mischievous Pup is good with kind of Deep Cavern Bat. It's good with Snail. I've also just got Marionette, Deadweight. I don't need a 4th crawler, so I guess I'm taking Deadweight here. And leaving Marionette for the wheel? I mean, the pup is probably, well, it's close between pup and Deadweight, but I think we have not enough synergy yet to consider the pup. Also, we're not like guaranteed to be in white necessarily. Which one is this? Oh, that's the garbage one. Don't worry about that rare, it doesn't matter. There is Careening Minecart, which is good with both Snail and Bat. There's Grasping Shadows, which hasn't been that great when it's been cast against me here. There's a Sandwing, which is whatever. I think I'm going to take the Minecart. That's probably making our deck almost no matter what. Okay, Tithing Blade, Miner's Guidewing, Primordial Gnar. I think I'm willing to try out a Tithing Blade. We're kind of like a low to the ground, kind of derpy black-white deck so far. I do like the Guidewing. We don't have a lot of Explore, though. I think I'll take that one here. Yes, artifacts are quite pushed in this set. They're very good. Malicious Eclipse kind of kills all of our creatures, so I don't think I want that one. Sandwing hasn't been great. Landmark is okay. Archaeologist, probably not for this deck. We already have a Reunion. I don't think I want another one of those. I could just take the Sandwing. It's kind of free. I'm not liking how this is shaping up so far. But it's not really a Landmark deck, necessarily. That's more blue-white. This could actually be a family reunion deck with all these kind of low, cheap creatures here. Haven't seen any of the murders yet. Not officially murder, but what's it called? Grasp of something or other. 3 mana -5/-5, or -8 -8, or 10/10. What if we took Waterwind Scout here? I mean, what else are we taking? We have another chance, but we don't need another chance. We don't need another Acolyte. I don't need another family reunion. I'm not playing Buried Treasure. And Waterwind Scout is by far and away the best card in the pack. Join the Dead. That's what it's called. So I'm just going to take the best card in the pack, and maybe we go black-blue. Here I am in my fourth draft, or my fourth event here, hedging back towards blue. Alright, Might of the Ancestors. Beginning of combat, +2/+1 vigilance. This might actually be the kind of deck for that, but I'm just going to go ahead and take another Deadweight because the card is great, and I don't see why I shouldn't. And we know we're black, so if we open like a blue bomb in pack 4, pack 3, then we can just take it. I think I'll take a Screaming Phantom over a second Tithing Blade here, and a Whirlpool and a Reunion. Phantom seems okay. Just a good 3-drop flying creature. I probably am not playing 3 Cave Crawlers unless we can get more self-mill. What ways do we have to sacrifice this? Currently, basically none. Oh, look, the snail came back. Perfect. That's exactly what we're looking for. Maybe if we can get ourselves a copy of the Black-White Signpost Uncommon here. Alright, apparently people don't like Stinging Cave Crawlers. But I'm not playing this many of them. Well, this actually is a way to sacrifice our Mephitic drafts. We already have one. Well, Grasping Shadows came back in. Ooh, nope. Take the Hidden Courtyard. Take the free cave land. I don't really like Grasping Shadows. I haven't been a big fan of it so far. Primordial Gnar or Acrobatic Leap? I think we're going to take the potential of a combat trick here. I think Primordial Gnar is much more of a defensive card. Hey there, Adam. Good to see you. Excited about the new set? Are there any archetypes you want to play today? Well, this is the 4th event. And I don't know if you have seen any of the ones previously, but we did blue-white artifacts in our last draft, and boy was it a doozy. And by doozy, I mean like incredibly powerful. And incredibly synergistic. It was a lot of fun. Very difficult deck to play, lots of decision points, but very difficult deck to play, but a lot of fun. Dinos has been cut off. We pack one, pick one, Polani Satcher here, and didn't see another dinosaur at all, as kind of is expected with this set, because that's what everyone wants to be doing. But I would love to, let's see, what do I want to play? I played blue-black and blue-white. That's all I played today. I would love to try out a Dinos deck, but everyone is pushing me off of it. There is a greedy freebooter. There's a deadweight archaeologist Echo. Could splash the Anchorage. It's a pretty good one, actually. I think I actually might. I don't need 4 deadweights. So I'm going to take the Anchorage here. Oh my gosh, guys. All right, we've had this in 2 of our 3 decks so far. And it's been incredibly good. If you've learned anything from my stream today, you've learned that if you open an unstable Glyph Bridge in your pool tomorrow, it is insane. So we're taking the board wipe here. As good as Bitter Triumph is, um, yeah, we're taking the Glyph Bridge because that card has been very good. All right, lots of options here. We've got a Duskrose Reliquary, which goes well with Double Snail. It goes well with Mephitic Draft. There's another Snail, though. There's another Draft. There's a Synapse Necromage. We don't have a ton of removal. We have a bit. We have the board wipe and a couple of cheap ones. So if I take this, could I wheel Mephitic Draft? That's my goal here. I think this is good enough to take right now. I do like Aspirant and Draft and Snail and Necromage. If any of those come back, I'd be happy. Ooh, Spring-Loaded Sawblades. 2 mana, deal 5 to a tapped creature. And then you can craft it with an artifact. Tap 2 other artifacts, it can become a creature, but it's a 5/5 with crew 1. It's really good. There's also a Guidewing, another Draft, and a Ray of Ruin here. Maybe the Guidewing or the Draft come back. But I think Blades is pretty good. Alright, a bit unfortunate here. Not a Gargantuan Leech deck. We already have 1 Acrobatic Leaf. I don't know if I would play 2. I do like Lodestone Needle, but probably not as a splash. So I guess I'll just take another leap. Okay. Sure, I guess I'll take a Bitter Triumph here. I wouldn't mind a Marionette. We already have a Courtyard, but I'll take the Bitter Triumph. We're going to have a ton of cuts here. I'm going to have to figure out a way to splash this Anchorage activation here without just like throwing a couple of islands in the deck. It doesn't feel like a great way to do it. Okay. Skull Taker. There is a Marionette. I think I'll take the Marionette here. We might just not splash the Anchorage. We have Careening Minecart right now, but that's not a great way to go about doing it. Tithing Blade number 2, Rampaging Spiketail, or Gem Guard. Don't play the Enigma Jewel. This is some random commander constructed card here. We'll take Spiketail. We're going to have a lot of cuts to make here. And we'll take the Echo. It's the only card we could consider playing. If it was best of 3, this would be okay, but don't think I need that. Black and white have been open. We just didn't really get, like, the greatest cards. Hey, Daniel. Feelings on the set. Complicated? It's been complicated so far. I've played a couple of decks that are, like, very, very decision heavy. And it's been kind of analysis paralysis by analysis. Is that the saying? Yeah, where you kind of freeze and you're like, oh, I don't know what to do. I can't figure this one out. But overall, yeah, there's just like a lot of decision points. Also, the commons have felt a little underwhelming, and I think this is going to be a very, very synergistic set. Like, if you just put cards into a deck that don't have synergy, oh my gosh, we got every single one of them back. Sure. gonna take another snail, I guess. I don't know. Got a draft back too. Um, like they don't do much by themselves, but you know, cards like Mephitic Draft, there are decks that wouldn't play this at all. But there are also decks where this might be one of the better card draw spells in your entire deck. So you have to kind of surround your cards with other good synergistic cards. And then I think that's where you're gonna have some success. Like our blue-white deck, you can go ahead and watch this back. Afterward, if you go watch our blue-white deck that we just drafted, there was so much synergy in that deck, and it really carried us over the finish line. So, all right, Anchorage, I don't think you are worth ruining our mana for, unfortunately. So, we could definitely go 16 lands with the 2 land cyclers. You know what? I'm going to start by just cutting everything and then bringing it in based on power level and then see where I end up here. So I think that's okay. Warden's probably fine. Sawblade's good. Guard, Glyph Bridge, Sandwing. Triple Deadweight is okay. Bitter Triumph, Marionette. Yes. Triple Snail. I think this is the base of the deck. And then from here we get to kind of build out a couple of options. I think a couple of these acolytes might be okay. If we play those two, then the Mephitic Drafts will be good for card draw. We need a little bit of synergy. Well, we don't really have... What else do we have here? Like, do we care about cards hitting our graveyard? Not really. So we need potentially... Take another chance. I'll take the Phantom. If we're going to play 16 lands, play the Spike Tail, and then a Cave Crawler, and then that's probably the deck here. It's not great. I just went on a big rant about needing synergy in the set to succeed, but we're about to find out what I think is going to be not a great deck that doesn't have a lot of synergy, and I think you'll figure out that quickly, that you need synergy to win in LCI. Is what I'm thinking. So I think these are going to be good with the drafts. It's going to be our only ways to sacrifice them. As well as Duskrow's Reliquary. You have to do this as a sorcery? Why do you have to do this as a sorcery? That feels so bad. I'm willing to try it out though, see if it's good. Feels like it's a little bit slower. Yeah, it's definitely possible. We haven't played against a lot of aggro so far. And we also haven't been very aggressive necessarily. And we have yet to play against a white-green deck. Ooh, Market Gnome. One of my favorites. Playing against Jamie Topples here. Another content creator I am familiar with. Got rid of Cosmium Blast. Bartolome. Alright, well, we're going to have to deadweight that. I have to do that before it gets out of hand here. Yeah, there's no incentive to not block there, really. Unfortunately, we had to miss a land drop to do all of that, but getting rid of Bartolome before it got out of hand is pretty important. Let's take a look at their hand, see what we can get here. Another market gnome or a rampaging cyclops. Well, they don't have anything to do with these gnomes yet. So I guess I'll take the cyclops. And I'm not blocking, so let's go ahead and grow this here. Do I want a plains? No? Don't think I do. I think I'm just gonna cycle this, grab the plains, hold up saw blades, do this again here. Dead weight. We already have one in hand, so we've got what we need to deal with things. So, just gonna end the turn here, and look at this warden go. We didn't think it was gonna be great, and it's kind of happening. Yeah, that's a good top deck for them. Your initial feel is that each color has two or more very different faces depending on the archetype the cards belong to. Boils down to the synergies. Yeah, I think it's all about synergy in this format, is what I am thinking. So I could craft this here. Wait. No, I can't. Why did it let me click on that for a moment? Might have just been... Might have been a little bit of a glitch. Let's go ahead and... just get the Acolyte down, and then Warden... Scry... Marionette is going to be pretty good against the Spike Tail here, so I'll keep it. And look at the Warden, it's already a 4/5 flyer. Alright, here comes Spike Tail. I would like to mill. Now I do have an artifact over here. Yeah, I know. You might have to reassess the Warden. This is probably the best case scenario I think the Warden will ever have, really. Well, I guess I could have done that pre-combat. Oops. Oh well. We'll survive. So I got one extra point of damage I could have gotten in. Get that last card. I'm sure it's a land. It was a land. Look at this warden go. No! Boo. Well, I can another chance it back. No, I don't want to tap like that. 1, 2, 3. Mill 2. Get back the warden, and I think Spiketail seems okay. Play the warden. And off we go again. Yeah, that seems fine. That's fine by me. I think I would actually like to hit my land drop here. So let's do this. Do this. Play here. Play the Phantom. 1, 2, 3. One, two, three. No, I don't need that anymore. You're out of cards. And then we've still got the Death Toucher back. Warden is a flyer again. Man. Man, all the market gnomes over there, but nothing to craft with. Okay, so we now do... We have 6, 7, 8. Can we figure out a way to win this turn? Is there a way? If I did this... There might be a way here. So we go 1, 2, 3. That's 7. No, I don't think we have enough to win right now. So I can drain one more. Yeah, there might have been lethal in there somewhere, but I don't think so. Yeah, you're right. I did miss that 1 damage earlier in the game, but I think we'll be fine here. And there we go. All right, man, the Warden did all of the work there. I think Jamie drew relatively poorly in that game, unfortunately for her, so... But we take those wins. If she had drawn all of her craft cards, those gnomes would have gotten a ton of value. All right, what do we got? But the white god of the set. There is a cycle of gods, one for each color. 6 mana, 6/6, Vigi. If one or more creature tokens would be created under your control, 3 times that many are created instead. And when it dies, it comes back as a land. And if you attack with 3 or more creatures this turn, you can pay 3 mana, tap it, transform it back to its creature side. 6 mana, 6/6, Vigilance with some difficult to die text on it too is also pretty good. But there's a bat colony here. I love me a bat colony, but we are taking Osier Tak. The Millennium Calendar. If any of you ever win with Millennium Calendar, you have to let me know. It won't be me though. There's a Join the Dead. Best card in the pack by a lot. There's an Aspirant and a Vanguard here as well. Do I just take Join the Dead in the event that I get pushed off white, or do I stay white with like Vanguard and Aspirant? I think this is just by far and away the best card that I have to take it. If this were slightly better, I would probably take it, but gonna take Join the Dead here. It's just a really, really good card. Some more really good cards. We've got a Ruin Lurker Bat, 1 mana, 1/1 flying. Lifelink at the beginning of your end step. If you descended this turn, scry one. There's a Guardian of the Great Door and an Ironpaw Aspirant. That's what I'm looking at out of this pack. I don't know which is better here. I think I'm going to take the Bat being 1 mana as opposed to effectively kind of like 6 mana. Makes it slightly better for me. Those are both really good. That's a tough pick. Tough to figure out which route to go on that one, but you can't really go wrong. Both are good. All right, another Join the Dead, but there's also a Chupacabra Echo here. That's a tough one as well. If we're thinking black-white again, I don't think black-white is super descend heavy. I mean, I would obviously play this card in a black-white deck for sure. I played in any black deck, but gosh, it's so hard to go wrong with Join the Dead when this could just be a 4-mana 3/2 sometimes that doesn't do anything else. That's also a pretty tough pick. I wouldn't fault you for going with the Chupacabra there. All right, there's a Guidewing, there's a Tithing Blade, Rebooter, Echo. I think I'll take the Guidewing here. It goes well with like a Ruin Lurker Bat type of setup. Like if you can get an Explore onto the Bat, pretty good. Got a Hidden Courtyard, Echo of Dusk, Tithing Blade, and Inquisitor. I do like having a copy of these cave lands here. Echo of Dusk, not really. Tithing Blade has actually... Nobody's flipped it on me yet, but it seems like it could be pretty good. I think we'll get a copy of a cave if we want it. So let me take the first copy of Tithing Blade here. And we're kind of locking ourselves into black-white a little bit, but I think we have good reasons to be both. See, now we've got a Deadweight, which is great. There's no other colors that are pushing me towards it, except C-Note Scout, which is a good one. But I'm going to take the Deadweight here. And then we get an Ultec Cloud Guard over a Fanatical Offering. I do like Fanatical Offering as well, though, but I think Cloud Guard is just enough better as the first copy. If it was my second Cloud Guard versus Offering, I'd probably take Offering, but I want my first Cloud Guard. David, everyone's drafting red. We have not drafted red once today. We've drafted, not red draft, we have not drafted red or green at all. Cosmic Blast, a lot more defensive. This deck's probably not super defensive. Deathcap Marionette is probably the best card here. Kind of building a similar deck to what we were last time. Do I think Descend X is good mechanic? Um, I think it's fine. Every time they kind of build mechanics around the graveyard, it never really works out. It always kind of falls flat a little bit. Um, but maybe this is the set where you can kind of push it a little bit and have it be better. I think I'll take my first Destruction Hammer because I do have a Bat and a Guidewing here, and it's really good with both of those. Everything else is not great for me. Another chance, Fungal Fortitude. I'm going to try Fungal Fortitude. It seems good with something like Guidewing and Bat. It was pretty good against me last game, so I'm just going to see if it can fit into my deck or not. But yeah, David, as I was saying, we haven't drafted red or green, which happen to be probably the two most popular colors. Two most popular, yeah, colors in the format, because dinos are those colors. Everybody wants to draft dinos, and they probably have, because I have not yet. But, you know, what are you going to do about it? All right, Freebooter. Yeah, I don't think Descend 8 is ever going to be reached in a normal game of Limited, effectively ever. Fabrication Foundry. Played with this already today. 2 mana. Tap. Add 1 mana only to cast artifacts or activate abilities of artifacts. 3 mana, exile 1 or more artifacts, and then bring it back. Honestly, Michael, no, I haven't played against a lot of red-green decks either. I think I played against 2. It's been pretty... David, you're either making a joke because you were here earlier, or you actually know that interaction because when we were here earlier, we did just that. And, okay, cool. When it comes to this pack, honestly, it's pretty darn bad. I guess I'll take it because it has the highest upside, but this pack is pretty bad. Like, we don't have a lot of artifacts in this deck. There's an Envoy, which is fine. There's a Thousand Moons, which is not fine. There's a Gnar, which is also not great. And an Echo, which is also not great. I guess I'll take the Envoy. I could take the Restless Reef and try to splash it, but I've noticed fixing also hasn't been very good this set so far. There has not been a lot of fixing. So I'm just going to take the 3 mana 3/3 here. Holy cow. This is among the best rares in the entire set. Trumpeting Carnosaur. 6 mana, 7/6. ETB's Discover 5. 3 mana, you can discard it to deal 3 damage to a creature or planeswalker. I guess we're red-white? Or black-red? I can't pass this. Geological Appraiser? 4 mana 3/2 ETBs. No, if you cast it, discover 3. This is my pick for, I think, the best uncommon in the set. I think we are, David. I think we're finding our way into red here. He says as there are no red cards in the next pack. What are we doing? Petrify, I suppose? Wow. Unfortunately, our best cards outside of these 2 red cards are now a double white card and 2 double black cards. Atali's Favor. Enchant a creature you control when the ETB is discovered 3/+1/+1 and trample. Well, the problem... No, well, nothing's splashable. It's all got 2 pips. It's not very splashable. Poison Dart Frog could help with that, but we're not in green. Guess I take the Volcano. David is a fan of the frog. In the previous draft as well. Could we... we don't have enough... No, we don't have enough cards to go full red-green here. We have to go at least red-white or black-white. Or red-white or red-black. I think I'll take Marionette. This is tough. It's an Acrobatic Leap. There's Greedy Freebooter. I kind of want to try out Atali's Favor. I think this card might actually be pretty good. Vito's Inquisitor, Acrobatic Leap, Bloodthorn Flail. I don't think we're playing any of this, but... Wow, Restless Reef came back. Primordial Gnar. I mean, we could just be Black-Red Discover. This is a decent defensive creature. That's a 2-drop. Can we just go straight 3-color? Is that too greedy? That's probably too greedy, right? Wow, what a draft. What a draft so far. And we still have a whole pack to go. I don't really know what I'm hoping for in pack 3, pick 1, to be honest. Like... Maybe like a Chromatic Lantern to make me go full 3 colors. I know that's not in this set, but like... What are we doing here? Destroy target creature, enchantment, or planeswalker. They create 2 maps. Not great, but there isn't a Braid here. There's also Defossilize. Oh, Defossilize, Trumpeting Carnosaur. What a combo. Oh, that is a ridiculous combo. There's a Join the Dead as well. Oh my gosh, guys, what do you do here? Oh, this is ridiculous. Defossilize, Trumpeting Carnosaur is such a combo. It has to be a Braid though, right? Like, I think I'm going red-black. Alright, I'm taking a Braid. Maybe Defossilize Wheels. They might not be a lot of decks that want that card. A Braid is busted. Ooh, Compass Gnome. There you go. That's the card that can help us splash. 2 mana, 2/1. When ETB, search your library for a basic land or cave, reveal it, put it on the top. That is exactly what we need. There is an Idol of the Deep King, which is a card I like, but you make a good point, David. But Frog. Yeah, I'm going to Compass Gnome here. What does this one do again? No. There's a Deadweight. Another Deadweight for early interaction. A Hidden Courtyard. Torch. Tote. Gnar. Yeah, I'm going to take another Deadweight here. Man, I would be thrilled if the Defossilize wheels. I don't think it will. I think it's too good of a card to wheel, but it might. It might. What is this one again? 2 mana, 1/3, tap 2 artifact now. Acolyte, Dire Flail, +2/+0, turns into +3/0. Sack an artifact, deals. No, I don't think so. Companion, probably not. Guess I could take another Acolyte here. No, I'm going to try Dire Flail. I don't know, it's a rare. It could be good. Skull Taker, Gnar, #2, Discovery for a much more aggressive deck than us. And then Sunshot Militia. I guess I'll take Gnar #2. Another Marionette. There is removal in Rumbling Sky, but there's a Compass Gnome. I'm taking the Compass Gnome. That's what I'm doing. And, geez. All right, so what a deck we're going to have here. I think I'm going to try to splash Ojir Talk. With double Compass Gnome, it's not as hard as it might seem. Triple Compass Gnome? What is this one again? 4 mana, 4/4, ETB Surveil 2, then put... Wow, that's good. Let's take that. 4 mana, 4/4, ETB Surveil 2, then for each card you put on top, you draw a card and lose 3. And then Flavor Text for Descend 8. There is another Compass Gnome, as much as I love it. There's a Snail, which I would love to play. Plundering Pirate's fine. Hidden Volcano's fine. But I'm taking Starving Revenant. Ooh, another chance. Perfect. That's what I wanted. Okay, there's a Visage of the Dread. 2 mana, kind of like makes them discard a card, and it turns into a 5/4. There's also a Sandwing. I'll take the Visage, though. Don't think I'm playing any of this. Also don't think I'm playing any of this. I got an Acolyte back anyway. We did not, unfortunately, get the Reanimate spell, as good as that would have been. Alright, so I think we get rid of these 3 white spells. We can probably still splash a Petrify. Don't think we need the Freebooter. Everything else seems okay. Ooh, another Atali's Favor. I kind of want to try the card. It might not be good, but I kind of want to try it. So if like this is the base here, another chance, double join the dead. I'll try one Atali's Favor. Tithing Blade, good. Dire Flail, I'll try it. Deadweight, good. Abrade, good. Carnosaur, great. Primordial Gnar, fine. Starving Revenant, great. Appraiser, great. Skull Taker, probably pretty good in this deck. I think I can cut one of these. And then maybe one of the Skull Takers? No, probably an Acolyte. And no, I think I'll keep the Acolyte and then the Skull Taker. 4 planes for an Ojir with 2 Compass Gnomes and a Petrify and then a bunch of red and black. Yeah, I don't know how good this is going to be. We might have derailed our draft for a Trumpeting Carnosaur, but I'm willing to give it a shot here. Yeah, I'll keep this. I know, right, David? Why do you need to fix anything? We can just start with the cards in all of your colors. So we're perfect. We're good to go. Now, unfortunately, we can't cast the two best removal spells in our hand. Uh, but we can cast a hand disruption spell and a Skull Taker next turn, so that's something. Um, I'm just gonna get rid of the pup here. They can play their 3-mana 3/2 next turn, and then I can just eventually Tithing Blade it away. Huh, that's annoying. I do really need another land. Question is, do I get a red or a black? Huh. Can't wait for pre-release. Yeah, it's gonna be a good one. Um, Compass Gnome for a red for Appraiser next turn. Or a black for Join the Dead. I guess I'll get a black, because that means next turn I can... No, I still can only do one thing, though. This also just trades with their scavenger, so I guess I'll do this. See? Compass Gnome, fixing. No plays. Good by me. I'll do this. I'll let them petrify my Skull Taker. I don't mind too much about that. Because I can also sack it to the craft ability of the Visage of Dread here at some point. Unfortunate. But it's okay. We've got removal. Totally fine if they just play their veteran. I'll just kill it. How does craft work? So craft, you activate this ability and you craft with the materials that it says. So in this case, you pay 6 mana, you craft with 2 creatures, either on your battlefield or in your graveyard. Those get exiled, and then this flips into the other side of the spell. So. I'm just going to use, oh, hello, beautiful. I'm going to use this here to make them get rid of that. Yeah, because there's so much graveyard interactions in this set, they made it battlefield or graveyard, so you don't have to sacrifice your own board state here. So we have an artifact and a creature in the graveyard. So like this one, we can pay 5 and craft it with the Compass Gnome to flip it here. Which I might do. We did get an Ogre. That's why we're playing white. We got Ogre of the white one. I'm not sure what the name is. Alright, I'm gonna go get a red here because I want to cast Trumpeting Carnosaur. Yeah, they're all really good. I mean, you get mythic rare gods. They're gonna be good cards. That's pretty good. Pretty good. Guess they can get the other scavenger back to their hand and then start looping them. That's kind of ugly. Unfortunately, they do have a Petrify for my Carnosaur here, so I might slow roll it for a turn. And see if they try to use it on one of these things. I think I'll just kill that. Eh, you know what? What if I did? I haven't tried this yet. I'm gonna try this out. Um, I'm wondering if this is too slow, but we're about to find out here. So, I mean, some people think it's relatively good. I think it's too slow, but like I said, we're about to find out. Not gonna block. I don't want them looping Coati Scavengers. If this one dies, they just continuously loop them here, so that's why I waited. All right, let's see what we find off of this. Enters the battlefield, discover 3. Do they have removal? No? Okay. Discovered into another discover spell. Into a removal spell. Like, what is going on here? Uh, Unfair. Sure. You can do that. I don't really care anymore. We had our fun. Oh, man. I'm trying to get this Petrify out of their hand here. Before I cast this Carnosaur to just end the game. Looking in their graveyard. Oh, that's cute. Okay, they're making some loops here. Alright, I see what you're doing. They're gonna get the other one? Where'd the other one go? Is it exiled? Oh, no, they don't have to send anymore. 1, 2, 3. Awkward. Alright, well, let's get rid of you. Just go to any target? No, creature or planeswalker. Well, it discovers 5. Let's just end with a bang here. I guess we'll just abrade their pup. They can petrify this, but they're dead, so. What a game.